Hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for this yoga practice on my YouTube channel today. This is going to be a great practice to do whether you're traveling, at home, or somewhere laying out your mat. And I encourage you to feel your whole body as we feel this movement kind of run through us today. So I'll allow us to stretch upper body, lower body, invigorate the core a little bit too, and hopefully you'll feel healthy and strong. Prepare your mat, maybe grab some water, and let's get going. For practice today, I want us to get started seated on our bottoms, maybe on a block or a pillow or a bolster. And I want you just to slowly move laterally. So we're gonna move right and left. And I just want you to kind of wake up the body right now. So big seated stretch side to side. Sometimes when a teacher asks you to sit right away, it's like, ooh, but I really don't want to. So just kind of move with me left to right. Good. Stretching side to side. And then finishing up and then pausing and landing right in the center for me, sitting up nice and tall. Good. And then inhale, bring your hands to your kneecaps, and then we'll do those belly circles, which we've done before. Just gonna draw circles with your stomach. Good. Just round and round and round. We used to do this a lot in a class I would take when I lived back in Wilmington, North Carolina, and it was a hot class, and you would just be like spewing sweat off your forehead as you circled. That room got very warm. And then reverse. Let's just say August in a hot studio in the South is really hot. Good, keep going. I want you to crave that heat right now. That's what I want you to do, is crave that. Sit up nice and tall on your inhale. Sweep your arms up. Good. Pull your hands to your heart. Close your eyes for a moment. And set your intention right now for your movement. Or maybe for kind of, instead of your movement, maybe your body's not your priority this morning. Maybe it's connecting more on the emotional self, that internal person that some of us don't get to see who you are at all times versus that external face that you put on. So what's going on inside of the body? Where do you need your focus? Where do you need that little bit of energy? What story haven't you shared because you don't want to, but sometimes you want attention for it? So that's where you have to dig deep into a practice. And you have to kind of notice when that offering is there for you, take it and run with it. Take one more big inhale through the nose, seated here. Good, exhale out a big sigh. Nice. And then inhale, blink your eyes open. Transition for me to hands and knees. So go ahead and come to tabletop. Whew, that's a big old hip pop there on my left hip. Palms are flat. And then I just want you to inhale, sway the spine just one time. So stick out the bum, lift the heart. Good. Exhale, tuck chin, round the upper back. And then exhale to plank. So slide one leg back and then the other. Engage the muscles in your core. Push back through the balls of the feet and the heels. And then just kind of as you press your palms down, how does your upper body, lower body feel? Feel the strength in your arms and your legs here, okay? Holding 3. Core is tight. 2, firming up the belly. And then exhale very slowly. We're gonna find our belly, but we're gonna lower on a 3 count. So move very still with me, very controlled. Down, 2, 3. Good. Now untuck those toes so the tops of your feet are down. Feel free to slide your hands back down your ribs more. And then inhale, Cobra. So I'm going to go to straight arms. You can come up just to 2 inches or 3 inches. Really depends on how your back feels. And then slowly lower down. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Bring the body up, 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 up. Good. Exhale, lower, lower, lower. Feel the upper body start to get involved here. So use the muscles in those arms. Push. Good. That's the benefit of yoga. It teaches us how to move our own body weight. Exhale to child's pose. So tap your butt on your heels. Big breath out on your mat. Good. And then let's find down dog. Shifting forward, raising the hips up and back. And then landing in this nice space on our mat with our hips up, our knees soft, our gaze to our toes, and the length in the spine, and this beauty of a stretch through your underarms, your low back, and everything else. So feeling yummy, feeling good, feeling ready to rock and roll. And then I want you to cat spine to plank. So that means round the upper back and then come to plank with a flat back. And then cat the spine back to dog. So that teaches you how to round the back and suck the belly up and in. One more time. Balls of the feet, round, 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 round. Exhale, neutral spine once you get there. Good. Now lift, 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 lift. Push back. Nice. Now let the knees bend some, okay? So allow yourself to really ease in right now. Find that moment where you can just pause, where it can feel good and yummy and strong. Nice. And then exhale, let's walk our feet up to our hands so that we land in a nice forward bend together at the top of your yoga mat. Exhale, fold forward. So here's your opportunity to let your head fall below your heart as long as you feel healthy and strong to do that. And then to tuck the chin, let the gaze, as long as you don't get dizzy, go back between your kneecaps. And I give you all those cues because sometimes when I ask you to do things, your body could react in a non-happy way to it, right? You might be like, no, this doesn't feel good. And that's normal. So really kind of transition by noticing how you feel through each cue and where you should stay. Good. Let's bone by bone stand up together. Sweep the arms into the air. Press the palms together and then work on that baby back bend. This is early in the practice. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. Hands to heart. And then down by the sides. Perfect. Empty coat sleeves. So you're going to swing your arms side to side. I just want you to move a little bit. So we did a little bit of that early movement, right? With those seated lateral stretches and then those circular belly rolls seated. And now here is kind of that standing momentum of moving and shaking and grooving. Just watched this kid on Instagram dance for like 5 minutes before I started teaching this class because, you know, scrolling, finding things, you go down the rabbit hole, you keep clicking. And I was just so impressed, and I'm doing this and I already feel like it's hard enough to keep the rhythm, so I don't know how to do it. And then use your fist and hit your butt, hit your butt, hit your butt. Yeah, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Shake out those legs. Give me a little shake, 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 shake. Good. And then bring your feet at the top of the mat together. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Good. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway up. Let's take a nice flat back. Vinyasa. So here's your first chaturanga where we lower and maybe we pause and then you come up. And again, all that's optional. And then exhale, downward facing dog. To the back of your yoga mat. Exhale as you get there. Press and reach. Beautiful, beautiful. Now take the right leg up. Step the right foot forward. Good. Anchor the back heel. Warrior 2 to start practice. So that first big standing pose as you work into your hips. Take a quick peek at that right kneecap. Move it in line with the ankle. Good. And then some softness here through the arms. Find your breath. And then I want you to reverse the warrior, so really get long through that right side body. Good, early in practice, stretch and open. And then cartwheel your hands to the earth. Exhale, pause here as you bend into the right knee. Beautiful, and then exhale, right to plank, step it back. Vinyasa, lower. Inhale, up. And then exhale, back. Good, inhale, left leg reaches high. Let's step forward. Let's anchor the heel and then we'll find our pose, warrior 2. So again, just kind of moving into it nice and easy right now. Feeling your body settle. Watch the knee, line it up with the ankle. Pause. Let's reverse. Get some room in that left side body. Let's reach. Good. Cartwheel your hands all the way down. Spin to the ball of your back foot. And then just bend the left knee forward. Pause here. Good. And now exhale, vinyasa. Step. Lower. Lift. And then hips up, please. Down dog. Good. Exhale to breathe out. Right leg, inhale. Step forward, exhale. We return to warrior two. Nice. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit of heat, especially if you got on like some extra layers. Starting to feel a little bit warmer. Reverse the warrior. And then invite in side angle this time, so you can pause right here, or you can go a little deeper. But I do invite you to half bind the left arm. So I'm going to spin my watch towards you, see? And then the forearm comes on the low back. And then see if you can kind of roll the ribs. So very carefully think about right ribs coming under, left ribs going up. And just kind of having this really softness to the mouth, so you're not clenching as you roll your face towards the sky. I can feel kind of my head fall back based on the weight of my ponytail kind of falling towards the ground. Don't worry, you don't need a ponytail to do the pose. Left arm reaches up. Good. Warrior two, exhale, pause. Cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Step right to plank. Lower to the belly. Good. Slide the hands back for locust. Press down. Inhale, torso comes up, legs come up. Hold. 4, 3. Firm and strong. Lift. 2. Good. Exhale, lower. Press to hands and knees. 1, 2, 3. And then back to child's pose for a moment. Tap the butt. Good. And then forward to the forearms. Lay them down. Curl your toes. Dolphin. Good. Exhale, settle. My gaze is at my toes. My knees are soft. And I'm building strength in my forearms for 4, 3, 2. Now don't put your knees down. Walk your feet back and invite in side plank on the right forearm. So stack your feet or scissors. So I'm going to take left foot in front of right. And then just roll onto that right forearm. Raise your left arm to the sky. And remember, if you're ever feeling too much fatigue or you can't do the core work, lower the right knee to the mat. Take another big inhale. Let's go to plank on our exhale, left hand, right hand. So that's a big press. Vinyasa. Up. And then let's do all that on the other side, okay? So hips to sky. Breath out of the mouth if you want. Left leg, inhale. Exhale, step, anchor and land, Vira B. So Virabhadrasana B translates to warrior 2. You have Virabhadrasana A, B, and C. Good. Reverse the warrior, inhale. And then exhale, side angle. We invite it in this round. Again, you can hang out with me, forearm to thigh, you can go further. But again, try to rotate the palm around, so internal rotation of shoulder. Exhale, put the forearm on the low back. And then I invite you just to roll open. So figure out what works. Drive down through your feet. Roll your ribs up. Breathe. Create this experience where you can lengthen and open and stretch. 3, 2. Then I want you to inhale, re-extend the top arm if it's behind your back. Good. Now look forward, come back up to warrior 2. Pause right here, settle. Cartwheel your hands to the mat. Exhale, we go right to plank together. Step. Down to the belly, we exhale. We slide the hands back. We take the tops of the feet down, and then here you go. Lift up. Chest, legs, and hands if you want, or they can stay on the mat. It's up to you. 4. Find that back bend. Find that little scooping sensation. Put a bowl in your low back. 2. Exhale, tap the mat. Put the hands into the shoulders, hands and knees. Exhale, hips to heels. Good. Forearms to the earth, okay? You know it's not long, so just do the best you can. We go to Dolphin. Hips up. Knees are soft as your hips lift to the sky. And then find that sensation where you can kind of push through your forearms back a little bit. Now, if you are wearing a lot of layers, that's where this pose gets a little hard because I do feel myself sliding a bit. So you definitely don't want to do an arm balance if you're sliding. So definitely just keep both feet on the mat. And now walk the feet back, maybe walk the forearms forward. Left forearm takes weight. And then exhale, Vashisthasana, side 2, which is your side plank on the left forearm. Right foot in front if you want. 3. Stay with me or drop the left knee if needed. 2. Right hand plank, left hand, here we go. Good, Vinyasa through, lower, up, and then push your hips up and back, nice work. Downward facing dog. Look to your hands with some bent knees. Exhale, step or jump up. Halfway lift the spine. And then when ready, fold forward with me. Good. Now cup the back of those calf muscles so your fingertips face your heels. And I want you to try to pull your chest in even more to those thighs. So think about chin tucking, eyes looking back between kneecaps, lifting of the tailbone as you drop your head, finding your breath. 3. Good. Exhale, 2. And then release your fingertips bone by bone. Stand up with me. Sweep your arms up into the air. And then exhale, hands to heart and by the sides, okay? So let's move to some standing balance now that we've moved through some of those bigger standing poses for a while with the sequencing. So we'll find eagle. So take those arms out wide. Take your right arm underneath your left arm, crisscross. Again, this would be the advanced bind if you need to hold your shoulders. Now, bring your right knee up. Exhale, cross your thigh over, and then sit down into your left leg. So it's important, see the bend in my left knee, that you're in that deep kind of squat on the left. Now your right toes can chill like mine, or they can hook behind your calf muscle. And then you can keep those forearms parallel to the front of your mat, or you're more than welcome to take your elbows down and see if they can hook beyond your kneecap. 3, 2, good. Forearms return to neutral. Whoop. Right knee returns to sky. Pause, engage the core, find your balance. Come on, strong standing leg, and then release. Good, fold forward for me. Now we're gonna take the weight into this right foot. You're gonna raise your left leg up. And then I want you to exhale, fold over the right leg. Point your right toes or flex your foot, your choice. Maybe even draw circles on the ceiling with your left ankle. Good. Bow forward, one more breath. And then you're going to bring your feet together. We're going to come to toe balance, okay? So that means you're going to raise your heels and you're going to sink down into this low squat. So some of us might have trouble with this if this really hurts the bottoms of your feet. So you can slide a block or a towel, nudge it under there. Otherwise, just stay here. Your knees are going to want to bow open. Hug them in. Hands to heart. Twist to the right. So cross your left tricep and then rotate. So here you can stick around, right? You can stay. Maybe your left hand meets the mat. Maybe your right arm meets the sky. Now, the how-to on advancing this pose would be side crow. So if you're twisted to the right, I like to put my hands down and face them the same direction as my toes. So that way when I lean into my left tricep, I look to my left shoulder, pick up my top left foot, and then my right foot joins once I have balance. And again, That takes time. Your right elbow, by the way, is not utilized during this pose. A lot of people like to tuck it in. Don't tuck it in. That's called a crutch or a kickstand, and that's okay. But at the same time, it's really hard to get away from it. Good. Don't worry, we have a side too if that was just not successful. Bring your hands back. Now, I want you to see if you can drop your heels. Obviously, if you have a block under there, you can't do that. Give it a try. Drop your heels. Pick up your heels. Whew. Do it again. Drop your heels. Pick up your heels. Good. Drop your knees. Push your hips forward. Untuck your toes. Sit on your heels. Try to pick up your knees. Try to put them down. Sit up straight. One more round. Pick up your knees. Put them down. Bring your hips forward. Tuck your toes. Now sit on your heels again. You'll feel this more in your feet. Ooh, right? Yes. Let's get that little pinky toe so it can relax too. Now we're going to go back to toe balance. 3, 2, 1. Pick up your knees. Good. Fold forward. Don't worry. If that wasn't successful, I don't know about it. Open up your feet a little bit wider. Exhale. Just take a nice forward bend for me. Let's inhale to lengthen, and that's Vinyasa to the back of the mat. So take your time stepping back, lowering, lifting, and then moving into downward facing dog when you're ready. Nice job. Pause here. We'll do the other side of that standing series in just a second. Just kind of pause and push back through your hips. And as you look forward, you're more than welcome to step or jump up. Find the top of your mat and then take a nice flat back. So I'm going to bring my hands up my legs just to get some nice length in my spine and not to too aggressively try to look forward with my neck. And then exhale, let's go ahead and fold forward. Inhale, reach, arms up, eyes up, look up. Back bend for me at the top. Good. Exhale, hands to heart and down by the sides. So we have eagle, standing split, and then our toe balance twist, okay? So arms out. You're going to take left arm under, so hold shoulders or crisscross, okay? Elbows up. So really find the freedom in those arms. Like you should be able to move them, okay? Left leg lifts. Right knee bends, and then we hook thigh over thigh. And then I want you to sit down. You're more than welcome to hook your left toes behind your calf muscle. See if you can raise your elbows up in line with your nose. Option to stay or come forward as you hook those elbows. Rounding of the upper back. Good. 3, 2, keep your alignment. And then remember, we keep our bind in the arms and the legs. Hold. We keep our bind in the arms. Bring the left knee up. Hold. Stand up really tall. Hold. And release. Good. Hands to hips to fold. Exhale, put your hands on the mat. And now gently raise the right leg up for a nice standing split. And I just want you to point your toe, flex your foot. Point your toe, flex your foot. Roll through your ankle. 3. Reverse it. 2. Good. Lift your leg higher. And then exhale, release your feet together. Raise your heels. Sink your butt down. Okay? So your big toes are ideally touching and the inner thighs are hugging in. So do the best you can to pull everything in towards that midline. Now, hands are at the heart. Exhale, we twist to the left this time. Now, there is a variation of side crow where you can put your hands down, by the way. And instead of turning them forward to the front of the mat, you can turn them to the side. The reason I don't teach this way is because the transition through a vinyasa is not accessible if you twist from the side. But maybe it will be better for you as side crow. So I'll demo that here. So instead of my hands facing forward on my mat, I've now turned my hands to face away. My right tricep is still the lever of the pose. I lean into my right arm, and then as I lean forward, I pick up my right leg and then my left leg. And again, some find that more accessible than the full rotation of the hands, but it just takes away from your ability to float back if that's part of what you want to do, okay? So take one more breath wherever you are. And side crow is not a pose you're going to get day one, okay? It takes multiple tries. Come back to center for me. Good. Drop your heels. Oh, yes, we're going to do it again. Lift your heels. Good. Drop your knees. Press your hips forward. Untuck your toes, tops of your feet down. Sit on your heels. Lift your knees. Put them down. Lift your hips. Tuck your toes. Sit back. Exhale, transition, toe balance. Good. And all of that was done without my hands, right? Yours too? Hands to the mat, fold forward. Take a flat back for me to lengthen out. Vinyasa, step or jump. Lower, lift, and then downward facing dog. Pick up your right foot and lift it to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Now, if you're still new to flip dog, let's walk through this today. We're gonna shift forward halfway to plank, and then look at my right foot. It's going to step onto my yoga mat, ball of my foot, and then I'm gonna move my left foot over towards the left side of my mat, but the pinky toe edge of my foot is down. That allows me to roll my hips to the sky. So now my pelvis is facing the sky, and my left elbow is bent so I don't lock out the arm. Now to come back around, all you do is look at the mat, step the left foot back in place, put the right hand down, and then as you rotate, that right leg goes straight up. Now bring your right knee to touch your nose. Send your right leg back up. And now lower the shin for pigeon. So slide it back and then bring your torso to an upright position for me. Good. Now look at my back knee. 1, 2, 3, lift. Wiggle it back a little bit more and then put the top of your foot down. Inhale as you lengthen out your spine, really lift, lift, lift. And then option 1, stick around. Option 2, lower. Now remember, you're not sitting to your right. You are sitting directly on your mat with even weight left and right side of body. Now you're going to feel like more weight is on the right, obviously, because that's the side you're stretching. But I want you to really notice the energy moving forward in the pose, not to the right. And as you feel that energy moving forward, that's where you can get your pelvis to slowly get closer and closer to the earth. And then exhale, kind of settle. It's helpful to have kind of a folded up towel or blanket or prop around for this pose if you ever need it to slide under your right booty. Or even to decide that this pose is just too much for your hips and maybe flipping over onto your back, crossing your right ankle over your thigh is better, okay? Take one more breath here. And then I want you to carefully straighten your arms. So inhale, bring the torso to an upright position. Good. Now, left heel comes to butt. So I work through a lot of quad stretching and knee down lunges. Not a whole lot in this pose, just because it's a little harder. But left heel comes to butt. Left arm reaches up and around to grab your foot. So same hand, same foot. So don't try to rotate. Now, maybe loop your strap around your foot if you prefer. So if you have your strap, you can lock it and then you can pull your foot towards you. Okay? Now, if this feels safe, take your right hand, make sure it's over to the right side of your right leg. If you can do more, I'm going to take this foot all the way to the crease of my elbow, okay? And then I'm going to try to take my hand and hold my shoulder, okay? Everything's facing forward. Now, if that feels good, watch what I'm going to do with my right hand. I'm going to go over top of my foot and see my elbow, it's currently facing down. It's going to roll up, which is going to pull my heel in deeper. So that rotation may be too much. Just do the best you can. Okay, so that's a version. Or, there's a lot of ors. You can keep the elbow and then the right arm would come up and you clasp your fingers, which is how you get into that full version of pigeon. And again, this is a bendy pose, so stop where it's accessible to you. Take another full breath in. Good, now release whatever you got. Exhale, step back to plank, 1, 2, 3. And then lower through your vinyasa into your back bend. And then exhale back through down dog. And if you need to shake out that right leg, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, just kind of settle. And I'm going to walk you through that transition of flip dog again, also known as wild thing. So, left leg lifts to start. Bend your knee, open your hip. From there, I like to shift slightly forward to plank to make sure my shoulder feels good. Then, step onto your yoga mat with your left foot. What that allows you to do is take your right foot away from the body, straight leg. Pinky toe edge of foot is down, and then my hips press, which gives me the back bend. Which means my quads and your quads are working a lot, right? Right. Now, take your time, exhale. As we start to step the right foot back into place, we put the left hand down, and then we raise the left leg up. So this is called three-legged dog. You've returned here. Now, bring your knee to your nose. Send your leg back up. And then bring your shin forward. Good. Again, curl your back toes, lift your back knee, and then exhale, put the top of your foot down. Good work, everybody. Getting a little bendy on you in the end, but hopefully you're prepared to be here. Exhale when ready. Feel free to move forward and into your variation of pigeon. It's so funny. I'll be walking Minnie around or running her, and the pigeons wait until the last second to get out of our way when we're on a run, the last second. And it's funny because she'll watch them, but she'll try to attack as well in the last second. So as they fly up, she kind of jumps up, but then we're also mid-run, so then I kind of pull her down, and then we're running, and it's just a mess. So I try to get those pigeons to fly a little before we're on top of them, but they really don't. They just stay, and then they wait, and they're like, are you actually going to come towards me? And when I do, they finally decide to move. So anyways, we don't look for the pigeons, don't worry. They just like to be directly in the middle of whatever path they can be in. Anyways, let's go ahead and straighten our arms. And then exhale, stay centered, okay? So that's step 1, centered. So staying like this is really hard. Step 2, heel to butt. Step 3, right arm circles, circle, 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 find the foot. And if that's not available, guys, you can take that right arm straight back along your side. You can grab your foot too. The circling of the arm just helps open the shoulder more. Now, option to hold the foot, to pull the foot into the elbow. I'll walk you through it real quick. To hold the foot, roll the elbow up as you face your fingertips down over your toes, or hold the elbow, reach up, grab your hands, raise your elbow up. So it really, really depends on what feels best for you and how you can best keep your torso facing forward through the whole sequence. Do I have a slight turn to my right? Of course I do. But my goal is that the energy is moving forward. Hold for 3, 2, exhale, we slowly release. Remember, we're not a slingshot. Hands down, 1, 2, 3, step to plank, lift. Strong vinyasa, lower. Inhale, back up. And then lift your hips to dog, where I welcome you to shake out that left foot or not. It's up to you. And then just pause here. Good. One more breath in dog. Exhale, put your knees on the mat. Okay. Now, headstand, forearm stand, handstand hops, forearm stand prep, where we just put our forearms down like Dolphin, right? And then all you do is stay here, lift a leg, all right? Or I'll walk you through this headstand if you want to try it. Maybe if you're already proficient in headstand, this is a way to advance your headstand. You can also work on side crow. You can go back to those. It's up to you. So this headstand I like to do sometimes. It forces you to really use your core and make sure you're on the right part of your head so there's no pain or tension. So my fingertips are gonna reach back and my palms are up, okay? This would be advanced, so if you're still working on regular headstand, I would do that instead. And then you curl your toes and you lift your butt. So see my palms, they're up. Push down into your hands, like the back of them and the tops of like where your watch would be, and then start to lift your toes. Maybe you keep lifting. And then once you get here, you can flip your hands if you want to regular headstand, or you can come down. Now to flip, you go 1, 2, and then boom, you're here, okay? And then you can try to exhale down the same way you came up. Again, all that's up to you, but that's just a fun version of trying to get upside down in a different way if you want to try it. I would also practice side crow again. Maybe going from side crow to headstand is part of your next journey. Maybe just getting one leg off the ground is part of your journey. And then just take a quick sip of water if you need it. Sit on your heels or in child's pose. You have about 4 or 5 more breaths, so don't rush. I always talk so much teaching online, so I have to make sure I'm hydrated. I want to keep you guys and give you plenty of space to practice. Good. And then once you feel like you're good, child's pose or head up if you're more comfortable. And then again, if you ever have questions about anything that was offered, feel free to ask after class, and you can let me know if there was something that just didn't really make sense, or kind of where your body is going, what it should be doing. Big exhale out. Good, roll on up. And let's find seated together. Let's bring our feet together for bound angle. So sit up nice and tall for me, shoulders lifted, head stacked right over top of them so that your spine is ultra long. And then exhale, moving forward, rounding the back. And just kind of feeling the stretch in the sides of your hips as you round in. Breathing in and out quietly. Stretching through the top of your lower back. Feeling strong, relaxed. Exhaling into this fold. And then I want you to take your hands forward. So I know some of you may not be as folded forward as me, and that's okay. And I want you to walk them to the right. And I want you to try to get your left fingertips to work into that fold. So really pulling and stretching through the outside of your left hip. And then exhale through center. Take your time. We're going to go all the way to the left. Good. And then you're going to feel the pull through the side of the right body. So you'll kind of notice that length, and maybe those right fingertips can go out a little bit further than your left. Give it a try. Exhale, come back to center. One more breath. Fold forward. And then bone by bone, rise up. Good. Let's bring the knees in. Let's scoot the bum forward. Exhale to your back. Hug both knees to chest, please, and then I want you to rock side to side on your low back, left to right. Good. Find center, and then here's where I want your shoulder blades to go down, your low back to go down, and length to happen through the spine. Pull your knees apart. Exhale, let's plant our feet. So make sure your feet are right below your knees and that you have alignment in your hips, okay? Same alignment we talked about in Pigeon where you're not leaning from one side to the other. Let's go ahead and raise our hips up. Walk your feet in some. Prop yourself up with your triceps, backs of your forearms, palms up or down. And then really work into this bridge pose and then start to feel the breath. So really consciously close the mouth, breathe in and out through the nose, Ujjayi breathing. And then see if you can lift, not just by pressing your ribs higher, but utilizing the back of your core, meaning your glutes, your core muscles, your spine to help you press up a little bit more. As your quads help you lift, as your knees and your shins move forward. And then I want you to very carefully lower back onto your back. Nice job. Exhale to breathe out. And then again, you can repeat that same Setu Bandhasana, strong active bridge pose. Or take your arms into the air with me. You're going to place your hands by your ears. And then I invite you to move a little deeper. So I'm going to press into my feet. I'm going to start to engage my legs. And then you're going to extend the ribs up. Holding 3. Reaching higher 2. If you're with me, you can stay longer or you're more than welcome to lower. It's the back of the head, then the back of the shoulders, then the low back, then the butt. And then you can put your hands on your belly. Exhale a nice breath out. And then you're going to very carefully just hug the right knee in. You're going to lay your left leg all the way down, please. Breathe out as the right knee comes in. Push the left foot forward. And now twist. So I like to rebend my left knee, plant the foot to kind of help out with the twist. It's up to you and kind of how you like to get into it. And then your shoulder blades are down, and you're going to look over the right shoulder, which is going to help out the twist. Big inhales, big exhales. And then gently come back to center. Switch those legs up. Left knee in. You can straighten out that right leg for a moment. Get a nice deep stretch to your hip flexor. And then exhale, let's move it to the right. So pick up the left cheek, bump it over. Left knee comes up and in a little higher. Left arm can reach out or lay. It's up to you. Stretch. Breathe. Good. 3. Outside of left booty. Get a nice stretch here. 2. And then gently come back to center, take your time, hips up, exhale, low back down. And let's hug our knees into our chest. And then here's your short Shavasana. So feel free to lay your legs all the way out. Feel free to take the bottoms of the feet together, the knees apart. And just move into a few breaths of rest. Closing your eyes. Resting the back of your body on the earth. For me, it's about kind of feeling the heat that I built in my body and letting it slowly cool down. So softening the breath, relaxing the mind, feeling the back of the legs fall into the earth, feeling the muscles in the back of the body sink down, the softness in the fingers and the toes. Exhale, big open mouth breath. Good. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out of the nose. Being in this moment, feeling the community that practices online together, breathing with you. Let's take the arms over the head for a full body stretch. Lengthen out. Good. Exhale. Possibly bring your knees to chest if you want, or just rock straight up to seated. Let's pivot together, sitting up nice and tall. Shoulders relaxed, hands at heart center. Close your eyes. Appreciating every moment in this practice, the moments where you felt successful, confused, strong, weak, tired, exhilarated, and so much more. Being able to feel all those sensations, such a blessing of movement, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Let's bow forward, namaste, and thank you so much for practicing. Nice work.